Ambassador Prophet über aNGEL have, released another urgent prophecy during the broadcast on Sunday, and uh, we have to talk about this. This is very urgent, and so this prophecy is about, what the first world countries, especially, is planning towards the third world countries. And this is very dangerous. I'm not even going to lie about it. Very, very dangerous. Before we dive deeper into this video and talk about it, I want you all to watch the prophecy in full so we can comment or talk about it with our comments. Let's go.
I was shown in the realm of the spirit today. A lot of the entrances of the forces of evil entering even into the third world countries, where people were going to be told this environmental law to support the environment. But before you know it, the enemy has already realized that some of you who are mighty in the eyes of God, who have already seen what is to come, have already heard that this which is about to come has caused you to look for lands, locations where you plow and plant your own plants, and you no longer wait for their GMOs and their toxic things. But what the enemy has done now is he is about to enact a bill that will begin to speak on this wise, that the things you are doing when you are farming on your own, you are harming the environment. So they are going to start entering into countries and possessing lands and buying land so that they produce the food for you. But in that moment, the platform for the Antichrist has already been created, where you will govern the food produce. The production of food, you now rely on a certain body that shall be created. And you buy food from them. Now when you want to buy, they would require that you have. So what you shall hear in the few weeks to come, few days to come, few months to come, are rules and suggestions and bills being lobbied that your crops, your organic crops that they told us for years were healthy, were no longer healthy. They will tell you that your cattle that you are rearing in your own farms are producing emissions that are not good for the environment. So they will tell you they know exactly how to do it for you. And many who are hearing me now will begin to sell the land to them. Even hearing this, they will offer nice money so that you say, it's okay. 1 acre for 1 million, you say, here it is. 1 acre for 200,000, take it. And it has been driven, says the Lord. The prices of land has already been driven high, and high, and high. That even in the rural areas, even your people will begin to know the value of land, that they will hike the prices. But in hiking the prices, it allows those with the money that is dirty to buy and scoop land. And then they will start telling you that this land you are into, this land is causing problems in the environment. Let's buy it from you. And technology will be produced, and it's already there right now as I speak, says the Spirit of the Lord, that can be presented as the one that is the only one that can reestablish going back to the original state of the land. They'll speak in terms you do not understand until you understand the terms as scientific terms that will help you. But before you know it, even in your countries, as you're watching me around the world, even in your countries, bodies that are not created, elected in office, will come out and lobby. Yet they were never created by an election. They chose themselves and became prefects of the world. And before you know it, you begin to buy. The second thing that God told me was very simple. That the houses you own, they will also say they are not environmentally friendly. So what we're going to do is we will change your houses. We have a technology. We'll change the color of your roof. We'll put something on your roof. But for us to do that, it will cost you about 70,000. It will cost you about 20,000. It will cost you about 10,000. The money you don't have, as long as you don't have, they will offer it. And then they will tell you, for it to be done, we can even do it for you for free. But we now own 50% of your house. And if you don't have the money to fix that house, we will take over the house because it's not environmentally clean. So you are going to surrender your property to them. Then they will say, if you want to live in our house, you need to have A, B, C, D. Then you have that until a certain time they say, have a mark if you want to be in here. If you want to buy the food we are now selling, have a mark. Do you realize how easy it is to change your diet? Most of you think sadza, fufu, all this is from us. I believe it was from Brazil. Yes. The thing you call your staple food is from another country. You were not eating sadza before. Your great-great-great-great-grandfather has never seen sadza. This was not it. And now listen to me. Are you hearing this? All this you are doing now, they changed your appetite. Now you can't survive without sadza. As they say, too much sugar in the brain is Alzheimer's. Too much sugar in the blood is diabetes. Too much sugar in the cells is cancer. The whiter your sadza, the higher ratio of cancer risk in you. The whiter your bread, Jenna. But men of God, you said sugar. Yes, carbohydrates turn into sugar. They know exactly what to do. They are taking it far to get you to be sick so that they are responsible for your health. And notice what the American Health Organization is called. Center for Disease Control. Not disease termination, just controlling it. Did you know the average lifespan of doctors? Do you know it? It's 54. In other words, most doctors die at 54. What does it mean? They don't help, they don't cure. I can see. There's a book called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It tells you what the Bible has already told us by their sorceries, and the word sorcery is the word pharmakia, by their pharmacies. So you read it as sorcery. There it is. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by your sorceries were the nations deceived. The word sorcery is the word pharmakia, which is the word pharmacy. So by the drug administration, by the medical profession, pharmakia there, they use, you see, number one, they use or the administering of drugs, poisoning. Then it goes to 3, sorcery, magical arts. But number 1 is the main reason why that verse arrives. So the Bible is simply telling you that you will be deceived by the medication. The medical field will deceive you. If we have managed to land people on the moon, which we did not, yet we can't cure cancer. They have medication that you can inject yourself for 6 months. Even if you sleep with somebody with HIV, you won't catch it. But they have not cured HIV. Only recently they've produced 2 studies and they did some tests on some 2 individuals and they were all cured of HIV. And they say now it's going to take us 20 years. Huh? Because of the risk. Which risk is more than death? They are afraid of risk. Yet the person is dying. The world is about to change. But one thing the Lord said, He says, we will show them. We will show them that we don't live in their world. They live in our world. As long as we are still here, they are staying in our world. They exist in our world. They will dance to the tune we create. Africa remains unadulterated. There are a few stooges, yes. Among the leaders of Africa, there are still stooges. But the reality is, we remain largely unadulterated.
You see that this is now getting very serious with our African countries. So basically, third world countries has to do with African countries, most especially African countries. So third world countries being explained as countries that have been colonized, countries that has been colonized. First world countries has to do with the United States and all that. Second world countries has to do with Russia, the Soviet Union, and all that, right? So that is the explanation. But I want us to go into another video where Prophet earlier was talking about Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and the likes, and see what he said about them. And this is going to happen because Prophet even didn't ask us to pray about this. He just said it's going to happen. Let's go.
Video games. In all these states you see on the screen, he now owns the biggest farmland acreage, the biggest acreage of farmland in America. Not only that, he bought the company that controls the seeds.
My God.
Of almost everything you know to be an agricultural plant. Wow. Why would you control seeds? What would you want that for?
What's the objective of it?
It's a seed bank he controls now.
My God.
One person.
Why seed in particular?
Because all these companies, what they're doing now is to buy land.
Yes.
Because if you buy land, you control the people.
Oh, yes.
If you buy land, you control the food.
Wow. Wow.
What did
Now, you have seen the light. The prophecy is in. Prophet Angel's prophecies are very urgent and he doesn't miss. He doesn't miss, right? Not at all. So the challenges here is that he didn't even ask us to pray or the church to pray or Africans to pray about the prophecy. So does it mean that it has already started happening? And we are in Africa. We know what goes on in Africa. We know African politics. And so if these have already started happening, it is to no surprise. Like there's no surprise about this. You see, this prophecy, this prophecy is a very urgent prophecy, but it wouldn't sound so surprising to anybody who understands the systems of Africa, the systems of our government, because our leaders can compromise to these happenings so easily. This is very dangerous. I mean, these first world countries, they are elites having to take over your food, control your buildings, and all that. That is very dangerous. We are talking about food, the first ever basic need of any individual. Now, after eating, we are talking about shelter, the second ever important need of any individual, where you will lay your head. And the government, this elite having to take over, come together with your government, having to take over your buildings just because they are very much archaic buildings. And what if that is the only building you can afford? This is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. And this is the urgent prophecy that I have to share with you guys from the camp of Prophet Angel. Guys, make sure to subscribe, share, and like this video. My name is Trader Nixon, and I'm out.